You're listening to Head Vomit. The following episode contains crude, rude, and often offensive content that may feel dirty in your ears. If you're concerned about your ears, please choose carefully when and even if to listen. This podcast is ad-libbed. If you are seeking a libbed podcast, look elsewhere. The views expressed are not necessarily those of the creators.
Welcome back to 105 AM. My name is Tim Spur, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest for you. We have the one and only Felix Granger, world famous snake charmer. Welcome.
Alright mate, how's it going?
Let me just say, it is so good to have you in the studio today. Us here and all in the studio, we are such big fans of your work. Tell us who you are.
Well, for the listeners, obviously, I charm snakes. It's a lost art, but I'm trying to keep it alive.
How did you get into snake charming? I mean, what is snake charming these days? You never see them anymore.
Well, you see, I was down Ealing Common one day, a little area in London, and I saw this geezer and he had a little pot, but what I first thought was coming out of it was a little rubber snake or something. And there was people gathered around and he had a little fucking tubular trumpet or whatever he was using, right? And I was like, what the fuck's that? So I went over and I said, "Oi, geezer, what you doing?" And he goes, "Careful, step back, mate. It's a fucking cobra I got here." I said, "What's a cobra, you fucking nonce?" And then he goes, "It's a snake, innit?" I said, "What are you doing that for?" And he goes, "Oh, well, I charm the snake." I said, "What you charming a snake for? You want to take it out to dinner, buy a fucking glass of rosé? What are you charming it for? You looking to stick it up your fucking bum, are you fucking ponce?" And then he very calmly said to me, "No, I'm charming it with the music to make it do a dance so I can get money from the audience. It's an ancient art and you should try it." And I said, "Well, fucking hell, it's very nice of you to be polite after I just made all these jokes about you." And then I said, "You're a decent geezer." So I went up to him and I said, "Okay, show me how to do it." And he started right there in Ealing Common, fucking London. He showed me how to charm the balls off a cobra.
When did you know that this was for you, that this was going to be your career?
I didn't really know I was going to make a career out of it until I heard the sitar. And I heard that and I thought, fucking hell, that sounds nice, doesn't it? And then I realised that charming snakes and playing the sitar and playing different musical instruments like that, like the flute, actually leads to some form of calmness, like nirvana. You see, I'm from Peckham, right? And I don't know if you know about Peckham in America, but it's pretty fucking rough. And the only chance a man has to escape the toil and turmoil of that particular suburb of London is to learn a skill, is to learn a trade. Now, I could have gone into the gangster business, which several members of my family have done, and they've caused a lot of harm to a lot of people. And I thought, no, I'm more of a peaceful man, so I'm going to go on a pilgrimage to India and I'm going to learn a sitar. So what I did basically was escape poverty and violence through learning musical instruments and charming the balls of snakes.
Absolutely incredible. It's so inspiring. Okay, so when did you start to get so popular?
I didn't really notice it at first because I was just focusing on learning my trade. Eventually, the groups grew bigger and bigger, and I actually started to become a bit of a thing in India because I was the only white snake charmer there, so they used to call me the ghost charmer. And my following grew, and then thanks to social media, by the time I got back to London, everybody bloody knew me already. So I started doing concert halls, arena, fucking Royal Albert Hall, did all them fucking places, and I fucking sold out to packed audiences. They had the fucking GoPro cameras on me flutes, they had everything. Mate, it was incredible.
So what kind of music do snakes like to listen to?
Well, you know, it differs. I mean, like I say, they like the classical instruments, like the sitar, or they like guitar, anything with a tar really at the end. And they also like a lot of classical music. Like you play Mozart and the cobra will be immediately disarmed. Also, if you play some hip hop, say like De La Soul and Public Enemy and stuff like that, like the older school hip hop, I don't know whether it's because it's got more realistic instruments in it. They react to real instruments, don't really like a lot of synth stuff. So also pop music's obviously out. Katy Perry almost lost me fucking eyesight once because I played that once on a sitar, and then the snake could immediately tell it was a lesser grade of music and it spat in my face. I had to get 7 medical procedures after that.
Oh wow, well that's quite an accident, isn't it?
But I eventually used the same sitar and I played some Beatles, which is like earlier pop music, so it's okay. I played some of that on the sitar, and the same snake was immediately charmed its balls off.
So I guess this leads into the next question. What is your most dangerous snake charming story?
Generally, it's not wise to charm the larger snakes. I mean, usually you see, you got your cobras, your mambas, your grass snakes, all them bastards are fine, right? But when you start to get up to the anaconda type stuff, that's when you get in a bit of trouble because, okay, the brain's essentially the same. You can charm an anaconda all you want, but if it snaps, it will crush a man to death. So you've got to be really careful. I'd say my most dangerous incident was with an anaconda. It was about 54 feet long, 2 feet wide, and it had just eaten a large hippopotamus. So I thought it was okay because it was quite full, you see. So I'm doing the O2, right? I've got 20,000 people in the O2. I've got a fat fucking anaconda. On the stage, I'm trying to charm its balls off, and I'm playing some classic hip hop, right? I went for some Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. So I'm on me fucking sitar doing this, and all of a sudden it gives me this look. Now, it's not always wise to stare a snake at, you know what I mean? Like, it's a challenge to it. It's like a dog. So I'm charming it, but it's giving me a look like it's not charmed at all, like it's not bothered about the music. Unbeknownst to me, because this fucking thing was so long, the tail end had come up round my crotch, and what it started doing was slowly but surely squeezing my fucking left ventricle. I looked down, and I couldn't feel my left leg, because I had this fat anaconda snake round it. None of those fucking bastards in the audience, all 20,000 of them, were silent. They didn't say anything, they didn't warn me or anything, they thought it was part of the show. So anyway, it started crushing my leg, and I tried to brush it off a bit, and then obviously you have, because now I'm famous, you know, I'm a commodity, so to speak. So I had geezers stood off to the side with scimitars and fucking chainsaws just in case shit went south. So anyway, I signalled to my mate Barry on the side, we need the fucking chainsaw. And he said, all right, mate. So he gives it a gung like that. And then unbeknownst to me, the mouth had come round, right? So the mouth clamps on my kneecap and absolutely tears my left kneecap clean fucking off. Long or short of it was, he had to saw this fucking anaconda's head off, chainsaw, live in front of 20,000 people at the O2, kids, wives, children, mothers, grandmothers, everyone was there. They were all watching this snake get slaughtered right in front of their eyes on the fucking big HD screens, and all I could do was carry on playing the sitar like Bob's your uncle, like this is all part of the show, like.
Obviously, there's lots of health concerns.
Fucking telling me, mate. Yeah, I can't walk anymore.
Have you ever had any difficulties from the animal rights activists or anything like that?
What, Peter? I did have a couple of things with him, really, because, you know, as much as it's good for the snake to be charmed, you know, people used to say the same thing about bear dancing, but we're not keeping the snakes locked in cages all the time, you know. We give them plenty of food, we look after them, you know, they're very well treated animals, and they are dangerous, so you've got to keep a certain level of distance to them. We had one animal activist after the O2 incident who said, you know, oh, save the anacondas, you know, you shouldn't have done this to an anaconda. And I said, like, excuse me, mate, but you get a fucking £400 snake and put it on your kneecap and then fucking see what you do. I'll bet you'll be calling my mate with a chainsaw within 2 seconds. And you'll change your view on it. Or, I tell you what, one thing, all these animal rights activists, none of them have ever had a wild beast attached to their kneecap. Or any other part of their body, for that mean.
Do you have a favourite snake to charm?
I think it's got to be the Prussian black blue. It's the most dangerous snake in the world, hands down. If it bites you, you're dead in 2.4 seconds. You really do feel nothing. My best friend, Bazza, he actually saved me from a Prussian blue black, and he tried to scimitar it to death, but it spat in his face, a bit like that geezer off Jurassic Park. You ever seen that film where he's like, nice dinosaur, and it spits in his face, and he's like, yeah, he's got all that fucking black goo around his eyes and stuff. Exactly like that, only it wasn't so, funny, because it was my best mate and he died. I thought about never charming that snake again, and I've got a respect for that snake. I've got a respect for it, but I've also got a bloodlust for it now, because it took the life of my friend. I've got, like people were attacking stingrays after Steve Irwin got killed by one. That's me and Blue Blacks. If I see one of them fuckers, I'm fucking killing it.
So are you part of any accredited groups?
Oh, well, me and the Snake Charming Federation of Pakistan, and also the National Charmers Association of Northwest India, we had a bit of a falling out, you see, because, they don't believe in charming outside of their country. They think it's immoral, but I'm trying to keep the fucking sport alive. So I've exported a number of illegal, dangerous species. They don't like me because I'm the ghost charmer. And over here in England, as much as they love me, I realise I am a bit of a commodity. And like I say, Peter, they don't fucking like me. The NSPCC hate me. Yeah, I'm really not liked by many public bodies at all, really. It's like mainly the public love what I do, but I've fallen out of favour with the animal rights group, so to speak.
Well, that may be true. You may have fallen out of favor, but the fact that you have 17 million Twitter followers just goes to show how much of an influence you have on this world.
People like snake charming, mate, yeah, as it turns out.
Do you have any advice or safety tips for someone who wants to get into this tradition?
Yeah, learn the sitar and don't get bitten. Just remember, you're not actually charming it like you would a human. You're charming it like an animal. You've got to use your mysticism and your ways and your music, right? Not your fucking kind words and do you want to have a couple of martinis afterwards? Go out a couple of carlings? No, that's not how you charm a snake.
So would you ever consider coming to America? I mean, obviously you sold out tours in London and...
I mean, that'd be great, yeah, because all the money's in America, you see, and you've got tons more people than in Britain. But, yeah, I did a circuit in Texas a few years ago, because I love wild animals down there. There's tons of tigers, they got tons of cobras, snakes, all that kind of stuff, and they love guns as well. It was a bit of a road show, not really a big thing, but I'd definitely consider doing a New York kind of like Madison Square Garden, like charming the balls off snakes live on TV and doing it all big like that, getting like Conan O'Brien or something to host it. I'd definitely consider that, mate, yeah.
So I've heard you've been signed up by sponsorship by Nike. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Obviously, everybody knows that Nike is a big kind of sports brand. They focus on speed and stealth and all their stuff's really sleek. So the way it's worked is basically they're incorporating the Cobra image into their brand, and they wanted to make, first of all, I always wear Nikes anyway, because when I'm on stage, and if I have to get away, if my charming skills fail, which I'll tell you they don't that often, I'll tell you that, but if they do, the best thing to do is run directly away from the snake in the opposite direction, right? So I wear Nikes all the fucking time because they give you good traction and you can get the fuck out of there real fucking quick if a snake turns sour. Now, Nike were watching my recent gig at the O2 and they said, hey, you're wearing our shoes, you got 20,000 people in the arena, that's cash money. And they said, come and support our brand. So we got wicked commercial coming out, all snakes, snake mouths and all the hissing and the, snakes biting people's feet who aren't wearing Nikes, and then the guys wearing Nikes is untouchable walking for a pit of snakes and all that. And all that stuff, it's going to be fucking wicked, done in full HD. It's coming out this December. Check it out.
Gotta say, Phileas, it is so amazing to have you here today. We were so lucky you could come in, and we know you have a very busy schedule. And you are playing the O2 after this.
Yeah.
So thank you for freeing up some time. If you don't mind, we've just got a few questions we want to throw out on the call-outs. So,
sure.
Okay, we got the first call-out. Her name is Joan. Joan, your question, please.
Oh, hello. My first question is basically, first I just wanted to say, Phileas, you've got an amazing voice. I can see how you're so charming, haha, to the snakes and stuff. So yes, my question is, I guess, where's the weirdest place you've ever been bitten?
Oh, well, thank you very much there, darling. You've got a lovely voice yourself. I'd say the weirdest place I've ever been bitten is right on the inner thigh. And the reason it's weird, as opposed to anywhere else, is you start feeling immediate throbbing pain in my groin. And I realised that I had a very high risk of losing not only my testicles, but my life as well. So that was a very scary moment for me. Luckily, my mate Pete was on the side with some vial of vaccine and just shoved it right in my crotch, and it cleared the infection right up before I passed out and subsequently died.
Thank you very much, Joan. Okay, the next question is from Gareth from South Wales.
Hello, it was absolutely amazing to listen to what you were saying. I just need a little bit of advice from you. Basically, I was walking to the shops to get some bread, and I was walking through the long grass, and an adder bit my ankle. So I quickly grabbed it by the neck, and I put it in a small box, and now I don't know what to do with it. What do you recommend?
Well, mate, I'd say if it's only an adder, like common variety adder, well, you've got two options, really. You can either drive out somewhere remote and just empty the box out very carefully out your car or moving vehicle if you want, or you can put it in the incinerator and turn it on and just fry the fucker.
Oh, excellent. Cool. I'll take that on. Thank you very much. Bye.
All right, mate, no problem.
So, Phileas, it's been amazing to have you here. Is there any last words that you'd like to say before we sign off?
Well, not really. I mean, I'll probably just make people aware that the third show I'm doing is actually special with Darren Brown. So he's going to show I'm going to charm a snake and he's going to convince an audience member to climb inside his mouth. So watch out for that one. It's coming to the O2 Arena, North Greenwich, in London on the 24th of June. All right?